for a foot or an inch, yeah, I fight for you all. Is the truth and I'm in, yeah, I fight for every breath that I take, and I fight for every step that I make. When you add up the inches, life or death, winning or losing is the difference. You are the witness, inches around us, every second decisions. Too slow and I missed it, fast and I skipped it, but I'm on time so I gripped it. If you were ready to die then you will get this. If you're afraid of your life then you fight for that edge. No matter how far I come I know I still got a step to take. Pull, that's it. Yeah, I do what I have to get where I got to. Eat dirt, that's it. I've been called worse by better, so what can you do to me? Fight for that edge. This is more than a team, it's family and I'll die for them.
Talent arriving here in the IWC, both of them from Europe. We've got Nigel McGuinness from England making his debut. Also, we've got from Switzerland, Double C, Claudio Castagnoli. It's going to be interesting to see what these two bring to the picture. Of course, Nigel making a good name for himself in Ring of Honor as well as in HWA. And Double C has made a pretty good name for himself over in Germany as well as over in this country in Chikara.
Well, I only know Castagnoli by reputation. McGuinness, I can say I've been in the ring with. Going back to his training days with Les Thatcher and the Heartland Wrestling Association. McGuinness, I remember him as when he started off as a skinny kid who Thatcher was desperate to put pounds on. Look at him now. He has made something of himself. We talk about it a lot here in IWC. If there is ever a guy who deserved the Super Indy label, it's Nigel McGuinness. And on top of it, an incredible technical wrestler.
That's right. I haven't ever seen Claudio before, but I've heard he is quite a good mat wrestler too, so this should be good. Plus, both these guys are very tall. It's going to be interesting. They match up very well size-wise.
And we've discussed earlier how important it is to make a good first impression in your IWC debut. Two superstars making their debut, but only one come out on top. And let's talk about Claudio a little bit. Really rose to prominence here in this country. after competing in the Ted Petty Invitational Tournament over in the Midwest. That's when the buzz really started to surround this man. Claudio, very successful overseas as well, a former WXW champion. Of course, that's the top promotion in Germany nowadays, but he's having a very tough time against Nigel McGuinness thus far.
McGuinness working in from the back. Had a Cobra clutch on there for a second, and now over into a front face lock. Nigel is a mat wrestler, but he's also very fast. He can go in and out of holds very quickly, and Claudio counters nicely.
Very much in the tradition of great British wrestlers of the past. Incredibly sound on the mat. Very much the grappler.
And now, a step over toe hold here by Claudio. And Nigel spins out of it. Single leg takedown one more time. Claudio right back to the step over toe hold. Countered. And tries it number 3. Give Double C credit. He is sticking with that move. What a good counter by Nigel.
He knows his own body and he knows his opponent's body. McGuinness is really causing Castagnoli fits early on in this match.
McGuinness really a star on the rise. I've seen him at the Ring of Honor shows in Dayton, and his fan support just keeps getting bigger and bigger. He's gotten more successful. Ring of Honor's invited him to every show all over the country, and now he's put himself in line. He's got a title shot coming up early in 2005 against Samoa Joe.
He also has a book coming out. He has, I'll never finish mine. He has finished his book, and which hopefully will be published early in the new year. And I've already been told that he just runs me down something awful.
Really?
Yeah, well, you know.
How much of the book does that take up? Half, possibly?
Well, it would only take a paragraph.
Oh, Double C saying that was an open hand, but no, he had the closed fist. So we're starting to see Castagnoli cheating a little bit here. And that was clean in front of the referee, and that was not clean behind the referee's back.
Well, smart wrestling by Castagnoli.
Right to the back goes Double C. It is his nickname. He was part of a tag team called Swiss Money Holding. Now we're seeing what he can do as a single star. Snapmare takes Nigel over. And it's kind of like a flying mare, but he sort of nailed him in the side of the head. And gets 2.
A rolling shoulder block, kind of. That was the new one on me.
That's right. These two both have kind of a different style.
Fans seem to be behind Nigel already. Couple finishing moves you're going to want to look out for on Claudio. A sleeper hold known as the Swiss sleeper holding. He also has a shake, rattle, and roll variation he might look to break out, and also specializes with a variety of uppercuts near fall in the ring.
2 count there. Claudio fighting his way back to his feet, working on the arm. Now he's got Nigel in a hammerlock.
Meanwhile, as far as Nigel goes, you have to look out for the governor's crumpet. Almost like a pedigree, only the arm is key-locked when he performs it. Also, the Tower of London, an ace crusher variation. More signature moves there to look out for that either man could use to put the other away.
Very good research, Joe. Did you hack into my computer or something? Good job getting out of that one, and Nigel goes right back to the hammerlock. I was missing some data. Now we know where it went.
Joe's really more of a hack than a hacker.
Oh, Claudio puts on the brakes. He says, I'm not going to fall for that schoolboy trip, but he did fall for that trip. Nigel catches him with a hip toss. Back to his feet, and Nigel takes him over with the arm drag.
Deep arm drag by McGuinness.
Double C getting a little frustrated. He misses that time. And that time he gets the schoolboy trip. And a 2 count. Nigel comes in with a lot of charisma, a lot of confidence.
He's, as the Brits would say, he's rather cheeky.
Rather cheeky, all right. Good kick to the back there. As now Castagnoli continues to bend the rules.
Hey, he can bend them all he wants as long as he doesn't break them.
You have to wonder about the language barrier. Double C does not speak English. Does he even understand Bruce Gray's commands at this point?
That's a good question. But the fact that he made it here to the building in Wilmerding, Pennsylvania indicates that he was able to ask for directions. So I guess he's got, some working knowledge of English.
Holy moly, I love this building and all, but yeah, it was not easy getting here. I could have used an airlift.
I'm going to leave a trail of breadcrumbs on the way back to Ohio. Fans cheering for Nigel as Double C, Claudio Castagnoli, has him immobilized in this rear chin lock. Nigel comes in with a little bit more hype than Claudio did, but Claudio can just take the wind right out of his sails with a victory here.
This is another example of the reputation superseding themselves. Nigel McGuinness has not competed in this area regularly before, but the fans still know how great he is.
Right to the knuckle lock. Great fluid wrestling there. Claudio over. Test of strength one more time. Nigel goes right into the roll-up. Bruce Gray, the referee, counts 2.
Nigel is just playing with Castagnoli now. It's like a Harlem Globetrotters routine.
And we are in a basketball court, so that is pretty appropriate, Keenan.
The fact that Castagnoli is on top of this match again is surprising.
Flips him over. Nice strength shown by Claudio. He is matching up physically very well with Nigel McGuinness.
Well, it goes to show you, you know, you can get as fancy as you want. A thumb in the eye is going to stop you cold.
So will a kick to the gut and hooks him up. And there's the move you were talking about.
The shake rattle roll variation takes down Nigel. This could be a signature move, and he almost got
And
him.
2.
Nigel, no stranger to adapting to styles either, and his travels all over the world. He's faced so many different opponents of so many different styles, from Jerry Lynn to Hacksaw Jim Duggan to Steve Blackman.
Quite an eclectic group right there. Double C moves in, trying to put away Nigel McGuinness. Both men making their IWC debut here in Wilmerding, PA. Winds up Nigel from the Irish whip. Claudio comes in, takes a boot to the face. Nigel, over his man, rolls through.
Look at that upper body strength and that sense of balance.
This is a lure. This is a lure.
Oh, it didn't quite work.
And he still has enough muscle to stay up there.
And Claudio says, well, what do I do now? Okay, there's an idea.
Claudio is completely befuddled. He has
No,
no
it
idea
didn't
what
work.
to do. This is the most unbelievable exhibition of upper body strength and coordination I may have ever seen.
I've never seen anything like this. That didn't even work. Nigel finally down. He's like, haha. And he's right back up again. Finally baiting his man in.
He got Claudio off his game. That might have been the point. He's going for that ace crusher variation, the Tower of London.
He got it. He's got him for 3. What an amazing finish there. He baited him for almost a minute, and he finally was able to get him in there for that Tower of London.
Well, the razzle-dazzle apparently worked. He backed it up with a very solid maneuver. And the 3 count goes to Nigel McGuinness in his IWC debut.
Fans, your next match is a one-fall affair with a 30-minute time limit. That stake will be the IWC Super Indy Championship. Introducing first the challenger. He comes to us from the United Banks of Switzerland, Claudio Castagnoli. And his opponent, he weighs in at 201 pounds and comes to to us live and direct from the Sunset Strip, making his second defense of the IWC Super Indy Championship. This is Sterling James Keenan!
Time for a Super Indy Championship matchup of the afternoon as reigning champion Sterling James Keenan takes on the foreign sensation Claudio Castagnoli.
Castiglione spending too much time with Chris Hero, man. They're really starting to look alike.
Well, Castagnoli has made a name for himself thanks in part to Chris Hero. They both wrestled extensively for the Chikara area and have had tours in Germany and Europe for WXW. They've sort of mirrored each other, and Castagnoli in the past 6 to 8 months has really seen his star rise in independent wrestling, especially in the United States, thanks to his appearances for CZW, IWA Mid-South, and here in IWC as well, and he's making a name for himself on his own, despite Chris Hero or not.
Stop defending it, man. I think Castiglione is Hero's evil twin brother.
We want to talk about evil. Let's talk about Sterling James Keenan. How about how he retained that Super Indy Championship against AJ Styles recently?
Hell is empty because the devil is here and he's in the ring. And he's the Super Indy champion.
Did retain that championship, but he needed help from the fallen angel Christopher Daniels to do it.
Oh, he didn't? He didn't need help?
He got help, and there's a big difference.
Thank you very much, Sorry, Swerve.
And
We don't need you anymore, Dombrowski.
I beg to differ. You want to talk about similarities to Chris Hero, Castagnoli with a cravat moments ago. You like cravats, Kingdom?
I'm wearing one.
Carnival tie-up, center of the ring.
It's French for tie. Did you not know that? Cravat, it's French for tie. I'm wearing a necktie.
And that has to do with this match, how?
You said, do I know what a cravat is?
No, I said, do you like me?
Well, yeah, I do. I'm wearing one.
Never mind. Arm drag takedown by Castagnoli using the rope for leverage. Fireman's carry takes down the Super Indy champion and the alleged Super Indy killer. Another arm drag takes him down. It's hard to argue Sterling's logic of being the Super Indy killer, considering who he's defeated over this time: AJ Styles, CM Punk, Petey Williams, John McChesney, etc. But he's having a lot of trouble with the big man Claudio Castagnoli. Monkey flip out of the corner as the Super Indy champion reeling. Sterling James Keenan is big on psychological warfare, but he hasn't been able to get into the head of Castagnoli very much so far. 9 corner punches, followed up by a huge uppercut.
And that has Sterling James Kingdom reeling, twisting a bit in the corner, trying to clear the combos.
Missing the charge into the corner, Sterling James Keenan outsmarting Claudio Castagnoli, who took too much time, and Sterling hammering away on that left knee of Claudio Castagnoli, taking the big man's wheels out, because if he can't stand, he's not tall. Shoulders down, Bryce Remsburg, great ring positioning to catch that.
Speaking of can't stand, you're gonna have to get your own way home after the show, Dombrowski. I'm not driving.
Okay. Sterling James Keenan working on the knee of Claudio Castagnoli. Count of 1.
It's nothing personal. I just hate your guts.
Refocus, please. Sterling James Keenan is in control of Castagnoli. What do you think about Sterling James Keenan's success, guys, so far? I mean, is there any limit to how far he can go at this point?
I think his success is very successful. It has a lot of success attributes to it.
Couldn't do it without you, Kingdom.
And
if you want to know just how far he can go, all you got to look at where he's been. He's been on the winning side of AJ Styles.
Yeah.
He's been on the winning side of a 4-way dance for the Super Indy title.
He's been on the winning side of CM Punk. He's been the IWC Heavyweight Champion. He's been the
man to capture both singles championships.
Yeah. He's the current IWC Super Indy Champion. You want to know? That's a very good point for his work. You want to know how far he can go? Look at where he's been. There's only up from here.
But what about some that object that Sterling may have not deserved that Super Indy title? Remember, it was a 3-way dance. Petey Williams earned his way in being the X Division champion. Josh Prohibition was voted in by the fans. John McChesney was the #1 contender.
Man.
Sterling was not in that equation.
Whoa. Ain't got nothing to do with what you deserve. It's got all to do with what you can get.
Some people don't like a hostile takeover. Doesn't mean it doesn't happen. What it comes down to is he forced his way into the match. Whether or not he deserved it is irrelevant to the fact that he got in and he won it.
And look at Sterling James Keenan bending the leg of Claudio Castagnoli across his own. Looking for a submission here. Sterling maybe setting it up. The fans making my job easy, going for the helter-skelter now. Has a 5 count to break before it becomes a potential disqualification. But look at the power on one leg. Castagnoli was able to muscle up Sterling James Keenan and drive him down.
Huge electric chair maneuver there.
What price did it have on Claudio's knee? He's clenching it pretty bad.
He's going to have difficulty keeping his own weight up on that knee, and to have Sterling James Keenan on top of him. Let's see if he can. It's not just a matter of can he make it to his feet. Can he stay on his feet? Can he run on that leg now?
Desperation move by Claudio, that electric chair drop. That's all he really could do in that situation. And there's a series of hard shots, European-style uppercuts, vintage Claudio Castagnoli offense, Irish whip, and a huge back elbow. What a feather that Castagnoli would be if he could become Super Indy champion. High elevation, back body drop.
Those rapid-fire strikes don't give Sterling James Keenan enough time to plot some sort of defense against it. He needs to take it to the outside.
Is the big man gonna fly? Oh my God! Tope con hilo. Unbelievable high-risk move by the big man.
Amazing that he was able to launch himself on that bad knee.
But even now, getting up on the outside of the ring, hobbled, hopping up and down. He's putting all his energy into these runs and jumps, and then he has to pay for it immediately.
Right now, Claudio's going for all or nothing. It's desperation moves, high risk. That's his only chance. And Sterling gets the belly to belly. Perhaps turn tide back in his favor. Lackadaisical cover, however. Might be able to contribute that to fatigue, though, as Sterling James Keenan only gets a count of 2 again. And right back to that knee. And into a side slam.
I wonder if Keenan is starting to think that a leg submission might be the way to go in this match. He's continuing to soften up that knee.
Claudio able to kick out. Claudio trying to get back into this match. You have to wonder if Sterling's even 100% yet. After that tremendous matchup he had recently with AJ Styles, but he has to suck it up here. He's proving his worth the Super Indy champion if he can get through both of these tests. And he may be well on his way to doing that here, but Claudio counters a superplex attempt. Big man going high risk once more. Another gigantic back elbow. There's a cover, count of 2. Kick out by Sterling James Keenan once again as the Super Indy Killer refuses to die. Claudio sets it up again. With that shake, rattle, and roll variation, one of his patented maneuvers, new Super Indy champion. Very close fall. Sterling James Keenan is now to the point where he's kicking out of the best Castagnoli has to offer. Setting him up again, trying to straightjacket those arms. Maybe go for a pile driver, power bomb. Look at this, Sterling James Keenan with the old stretch muffler.
Right back to that hurt knee. A smart move by Sterling James Keenan.
Dragging him back into the middle of the ring. Awesome. Taking away that rope break.
Using all of his weight to pull up on that knee and wrench that knee, and now has to turn it into a very, very deeply executed half Boston crab. You can look just by the angle that leg is at, with the amount of pain that Castagnoli's in. And he refuses to give up. He finally gives it in. He had no choice, he couldn't go anywhere.
Fans, the winner of this match by submission, Sterling James Keenan!
IWC, what you're looking at is the most money-making man from the United Banks of Switzerland, Claudio Castagnoli. And tonight, I'm gonna wrestle fabulous John McChesney. I earned my title shot. I didn't just come in here and just get a title shot. No, men like me earn title shots. Look at me, John McChesney. Do I look like some joke? No, I am the new Super Indy champion. Tonight, I'm gonna prove everybody who has the best fashion sense, who is the best in the ring, and throws the hardest uppercuts. John McChesney, say goodbye to your Super Indy title. Thank you.
What's up, IWC? It's the Super Indy champion, the fabulous John McChesney. I got a few people to talk about tonight. First, Claudio Castagnoli. You know what? I respect you. You know why? Because you earned your Super Indy title shot. I like that. That's a good thing. I earned my Super Indy title, unlike someone I know who has my belt, Mr. Keenan. Sterling, you're a piece of garbage. You know that? Where are you on IWC's biggest night? You're not here. Come on. Super Indy 4, you ran away from Justin Idol. Literally. The next night, you ran away from me. Literally. Last time we were here, you couldn't even beat Jimmy Vegas clean. You had to use some brass knuckles or whatever you did to cheat to win, like always. So you know what? Wherever you are, I'm coming for you, Keenan. I'm the Super Indy champion here. I'm the one that beat CM Punk, Glenn Spector, and Low Key, and the X Division champion of the world, Chris Daniels, 1, 2, 3, in the middle of the Monroeville Sports Center while I was bleeding buckets of blood for IWC. So you know what, Keenan? Wherever you are, like I said, I'm going to find you. Come and bring it to the Super Indy champion. You know what? There ain't nowhere for you to run or hide, because you're done, and that title's mine.
Dressed to the nines. Look at that suit.
I want to know how Claudio got my jacket.
Something from the Farnsworth collection.
I mean, I have a much bigger dollar sign on mine, but
It might be a little obvious, but that outfit says money.
you know, a guy looking like that sharp, that together, prime candidate for IWC's Super Indy title.
No doubt.
I doubt we're going to see a better dressed man all night long. That's a great suit.
Now all he has to do is beat Sterling James Keenan.
How come you're not calling him on that, huh? Gee, on my case.
Well, look at this.
Oh!
I think we found the candidate.
Wow. Well, I guess I know what he spent Vince's money on from that Sunday Night Heat appearance.
Not only is he wrestling like a champion, he's dressing like a champion as well.
Look at that. He's got cufflinks.
Oh, we're gonna do sharpest dress. Someone get Shima out here.
Oh, stop.
We might have to set up a little catwalk and get a competition going. Get Jeannie Becker from Fashion Television to judge that. That's a Canadian joke.
Nobody's doing any turns on any catwalks right now, sir. We got a Super Indy title match.
I think the key item at hand right now is that Kingdom watches Fashion Television.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Sometimes they show boobs. Hey, speaking of fashion and catwalks, Claudio's too sexy for his sleeves.
Now the question here is McChesney going to wrestle in this suit?
Prestige of the Super Indy title. And we'd like to thank everyone for attending the Super Indy Fashion Show.
Well, McChesney now has to spend the next 10, 15 minutes removing said garb.
Well, trying to one-up Claudio Castagnoli, and I think it worked. Maybe a little mental edge for fabulous John McChesney as we enter the Super Indy Championship matchup. Bryce Remsburg, the assigned official. A personal favorite of our fans here.
Well, a little something for the ladies. He's taking his pants off.
And, well, Bryce, he's accounted for now, remember? He might do it.
Where's all the lip going? Claudio checking his imaginary watch.
Well, Claudio's getting impatient here, and that's going to help with the psychological edge of John McChesney in this match.
It's nap time for Claudio.
Yeah. Giving the international sign for Tubby Night Night.
Matchup is officially underway. Fabulous John McChesney defending the Super Indy Championship against Claudio Castagnoli, who defeated Dean Radford at Cage Fury 2 to earn this honor.
And here we go, Double C offering a nice opening handshake there. Very nice. That's sportsmanship. Joe, you like the sportsmanship, don't you?
You've seen it for the first time tonight. I'll give him credit there.
You like when men touch each other in an amiable manner?
Well, I'm not going to go there, but it's a go-behind by John McChesney.
Not again, huh?
We got to talk about the role McChesney's been on, just continuing to up his game week after week after week. We talked about winning Super Indy 4, defeating Low-Key in the finals, being that Super Indy champion, a title he's fought for years. We talked about him defeating Christopher Daniels in that steel cage at Cage Fury 2, that breathtaking crossbody up the top of the cage. The current TNA X Division champion, by the way. We can add 2 more accomplishments to that list. August 20th, McChesney will be competing at a Ring of Honor show. And recently on WWE Sunday Night Heat, we saw John McChesney wrestle the former Johnny Swinger, Johnny Parisi.
Johnny Parisi. This guy broke my ankle, you know.
I didn't know that.
One of the reasons I ended up retiring.
I'll send him a thank you card.
You're a jerk.
Collar and elbow tie up center ring. Castagnoli grabs the side headlock.
Oh, snap, Joe Dombrowski.
And although McChesney is defending that Super Indy championship, remember the actual Super Indy belt not in his possession. Sterling James Keenan continues to refuse to give up that belt, claiming he's still the champion, even though he didn't defend it at Super Indy 4.
Hey. Listen, I told you before, possession is 9/10 of the law. So, let's give McChesney the benefit of the doubt tonight. But really, Sterling James Keenan, he's a champ.
No, Sterling James Keenan not even here tonight to defend the title, even if he was the champion.
Well, why should he be here?
He'll be in Uniontown August 13th to face the phenomenal AJ Styles. That won't be a title match either, since neither of them have a belt.
He's not going to give Styles a title match?
He doesn't have a belt, sir.
He does have a belt. He carries it with him.
He's not the official representative of that division and that belt.
Says you.
Says everyone. Says the record books. McChesney, between Claudio's and gets the big man over with an arm drag. McChesney's gonna have to use that speed, quick roll up.
Nice Oklahoma roll there.
McChesney sweeps the legs. Claudio's got that size advantage. Got to be about 6'4", 6'5". Moves him around and takes him down. And Claudio bails out. Claudio also with that power advantage. McChesney's got a hit and run here, and that's what he's done so far.
Claudio straightening his tie. He better look up.
Pescado, but he got caught.
Wow!
The raw power of Castagnoli. And face first on the edge of that ring apron.
Just dumps him like a sack of potatoes.
And just like that, Castagnoli uses that power advantage, and now he is in control. And you want to talk about Sterling James Keenan so much, Castagnoli also had a Super Indy title match against Sterling several months ago when Sterling did actually have that championship. Had a very impressive showing against him back there, which probably added to him getting this rematch.
Hucks him up by his leg and dumps him face first on the floor outside the ring.
And there's the ego of that Swiss money man coming through. Castagnoli, you got to believe he'll be a regular competitor here in the International Wrestling Cartel. If he can capture one of our top championships, that's what he's fighting for here. More exposure, more bookings in the Western PA area. But John McChesney's been on an absolute roll for months upon months now. As Kingdom looks at me disapproving for about the 20th time tonight.
I just wonder if you listen to yourself sometimes. Because I know I wish I could tune out.
Claudio drapes the throat of McChesney across that second rope.
Claudio.
Oh, he's got the tie. He's got the tie in his hand.
Has been relatively dominant over John McChesney so far. We might be looking at the next contender for Sterling James Keenan's belt.
Well, he's got a huge height and a huge leverage advantage over McChesney.
Could become a prime contender.
Who could become a prime contender?
Claudio.
He is a prime contender. He's contending right now.
No, but not to the Super Indy belt.
Yes, he is.
No. Where is the belt? I'm sorry. Point that belt.
Where
out.
were you?
Is that? No, wait. That's the tie. Is that? No.
Were you sitting next to me April 29?
I don't know. Was I?
It looked like you.
Can you prove it?
You were dressed better, but it looked like you.
When
McChesney won the Super Indy title at Super Indy 4.
I'm sorry. I guess I need to rewind. And where was I sitting when Sterling James Keenan was defeated for the title?
Oh, get off it already. Snapmare by Claudio.
He's using the cravat, and now he's really using the cravat.
No, she's. Yeah, he is.
And Stephen Calder caught him using that tie.
Wiping his brow. Give me a break.
And that's Bryce Remsburg.
Damn it!
Kudos to Bryce Remsburg for making that call.
You're really not good at this referee recognition thing.
They all dress the same.
Imagine that. Maybe they have a cult you can join. Bear hug by Claudio. That goes back to that raw power, just sapping the strength and energy out of McChesney's anatomy. McChesney has no place to go here. He's totally off his feet.
Oh, he's dangling. Claudio is dangling him like a rag doll.
McChesney has no place to get traction, to get a vertical base, to get leverage. He's totally helpless. And Claudio arching his back to get maximum impact, but McChesney keeps the hand up.
Kicking the legs, he's back down to his feet.
Claudio trying to hang on, but McChesney went underneath.
Innovative escape.
Walks over his back. Oh, Claudio meets him with a hard forearm.
That is power.
And all the technical skill you want. If you can't take a good punch, what good's it do you?
Cover. Claudio, maybe the most powerful man out of all the Super Indies we have, past and present here in IWC. Now sets McChesney up into the front face lock. Maybe going for a vertical suplex.
Holding him up there.
What time is it?
Looks like 6 o'clock to me.
Great hang time on the suplex.
Maybe 6:02.
Claudio making him think about it. The blood rushing to the brain.
59.
He's doing squats with him. He's working out.
Fab getting lightheaded, and he finally drops him as McChesney's face begins to turn a beet red, and even that can't keep him down.
Bravo. Bravo to Double C.
I think Castagnoli may have even more power than we gave him credit for. Now it's starting to pull behind McChesney as Claudio goes to take a chance now.
He is wasting too much time right now. Keep your head in the game. Joe thinks there's a title on the line.
Oh, there is. Look at the elevation on that drop kick by McChesney. And Claudio crotches himself, and McChesney may have new life.
Insert your own joke about the Swedish meatballs there, gentlemen.
Turning point in the match here. McChesney can get some momentum. We've seen McChesney pin Chris Sabin, pin Low-Key, defeat Christopher Daniels in that cage. Can he continue this wave of momentum that has caused him to rise all the way up to the WWE? And McChesney fighting back mid-ring, meeting Claudio shot for shot, back and forth. Fab starts to get the better of him, but another European-style uppercut, followed with a double chops. There is the standing dropkick by fabulous John McChesney. A second one takes down Claudio.
John McChesney's showing some fight now, taking it to the big man. And, you know, this is the kind of thing that's going to take him straight to the Super Indy title.
Oh, he is the champion. McChesney spins out of that power slam. It's an arm drag.
McChesney wants space. He needs room to fly.
Look out. Tope Conilo over the top.
Into the third row of seats on the landing.
Both men plummet through a ton of chairs.
And McChesney now going to the top rope. Taking a big chance here.
Up top, this could be it.
The missile drop kick hits.
No one hits it more beautiful than McChesney.
Oh!
Who would a kick out?
McChesney right to the chest of Claudio. Claudio reverses.
Elevates him up. Oh my God!
Speaking of forearm.
On the way down, he's got 3-0. Almost had a new champion. Less than a half a second away.
Wow.
Pressed him up and then hit him right square in the face.
And McChesney had nowhere to go thanks to gravity. Plummeted right into that uppercut. Off the ropes now. Went for that power slam he was going for earlier. Torture rack position. Carved him down. Almost an inverted Death Valley driver. Claudio got the title. No! Another kick out by McChesney. What fight this kid has in him. He won't lay down for anything. Claudio still pressing the advantage. Got to be thinking, how much does he have to go through to put Fabulous away?
Really firing in those European uppercuts.
You know, at this point, I think the more reliable question is how much more can Fabulous take?
No doubt about that. Castagnoli. Handspring. Don't know what he wanted to finish it with. McChesney gets the boots up. DDT time. No. Claudio counters, powers him right back onto that top turnbuckle.
Claudio looked like he was going for some kind of circus panda spinning elbow thingy there, and got caught with a couple of boots to the gut, but he's certainly got a hold of things now.
Claudio's got him set up, but McChesney not ready to go down. Still fighting back.
Can't get him off his feet, though.
Charging in. McChesney hits a DDT. Beautiful exchange there. And now he's going up top. McChesney going for all the marbles. Hits a leg drop from the top. Kingdom James is happy, and that puts away Claudio.
God love the top rope leg drop.
A great performance by fabulous John McChesney, showing why he is rising to the top of this profession. I tell you, this kid has championship material written all over.
Well, obviously there's no doubt about that. McChesney continues that wave of momentum. Another successful title defense. Now he's on his way to Sunday Night Heat, to Ring of Honor, and who knows where he goes from there. Claudio Castagnoli, known the world over for his travels throughout Europe and North America. It is Joe Dombrowski alongside Jason Cage to bring you this latest and final Super Indy qualifying round matchup. And in just a moment, Chuck Roberts about to introduce the opposition for Double C.
Focus on him on here, Joe.
In the night, disguising himself all night long as the unknown referee, only to catch Sweeney off guard at the beginning of his Super Indy Championship matchup and become a 5-time ICW, ICWA, Texarkana Television Championship, a fictitious belt, but certainly a long way in going under the skin of Larry Sweeney and continuing their issues.
Definitely. But now, see, Gory has his work cut out with him and Claudio here, because Claudio's pretty big now, and this is for the Super Indy qualifier, and Gory had his hands full last year, and he's thirsty. Kid's thirsty.
Absolutely. Gory earned his stripes at Super Indy 4 last year with that unbelievable effort against Low Key. One still talked about today. You see the collar and elbow, and Castagnoli uses that power advantage to push Gory off. But we talked about Super Indy all night long. April the 15th here at Court Time Sports Center. We're talking about the Prince of Punk Shannon Moore, the Canadian Destroyer Petey Williams, Rottweiler Ricky Reyes, Midwest standout Matt Seidel, Wonder Man Glenn Spector, Balls Hot Troy Lords, and now the international sensation Milano Collection AT. And the only hope of either of these two men making it in that tournament is winning this matchup here. This is the coveted final spot, the end of the road, so to speak, for one of these guys.
Definitely. And, I mean, I would love to see Jason get into this, but he has his work cut out here.
Gory in control with a hammerlock. And Castagnoli effortlessly gets himself to the ropes. Obviously the size advantage, the power advantage to Double C Castagnoli. And we've seen challenge for the Super Indy Championship before. We've seen in many high-profile matches across the world, really. Of course, part of that Swiss Money Holding duo over in Europe. It's that hammerlock. First time Castagnoli and Gory have met in the ring, to my knowledge. With high stakes now, Mr. Cage, you're certainly a very versatile competitor here in IWC. Do you have any early predictions on who's going to walk away from Super Indy 5 with that coveted championship?
I don't know, Joe. You see, I mean, there's a lot of fierce competition in this tournament this year, and honestly, I couldn't even be a part of it because there's so many high profile. I mean, if I would have to go out on a limb, I don't know. I can't even say.
Certainly a very deep, even playing field in that tournament. We see Jason Gory starting to use a little leverage. First the arm drags, then the leg sweeps. Gets a couple pinning combinations. And that quick sticking by Gory
very nice.
springs up into the head scissors takeover. Double C on the outside. And it might be time for Gory to fly. Puts on the brakes as Claudio moves out of the way.
That was very nice.
And good thinking on their feet of both men, Claudio to dodge and Gory to adjust midair.
It's things like that that put you in that Super Indy tournament with that knowledge.
Absolutely. And what about what Gory had to go through in Super Indy 4 with his chest after low key?
I mean, I wasn't around for that, but you know, I'm personal friends with Jason, but you know, he showed me his chest, and that was quite an art form right there.
European uppercut floors Gory. Double C starts to take over. You know, we saw you get involved earlier tonight in the matchup involving J-Rock and Dirk Ziggler attempting to thwart the interference of Raymond Rowe for J-Rock.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about that situation? Obviously, you and Dirk Ziggler longtime friends as well. I mean, what do you have to say regarding that?
Me and Dirk go back a long time. I mean, he's the guy that got me first into wrestling and started me in training and everything. But, you know, I came to IWC to have his back. And
cut you off, but a huge one-man flat jack. Gory set about 8 feet in the air. Double C in definite control. He might have this spot sewn up now. Lateral press, but Gory gets the right shoulder up.
That cracks some ribs.
Absolutely just vaults all the wind out of you.
Wow.
When you fall from such a high height.
Very impressive.
Double C starting to play with him now. You cannot count out Jason Gory. Is one thing a lot of IWC stars have learned.
I've been in the ring there with Jason Gory in Uniontown, and you know I've never faced anyone like him in my career so far.
So quick, so resilient. Submission attempt here, but Jason Gory, so much resilience in him, so much quickness.
All it takes is one mistake, and you're back on the defense.
Claudio with a variation of that Cobra clutch, cinched, and all of that body weight of Claudio just riding over top of Jason Gory. Not only does he have to worry about escaping the hold, but overcoming about 240 pounds on top of him as well.
That's quite a lot of leverage.
But Gory able to bridge up.
There we go. Fans get behind Gory.
Gory's certainly one of the most popular stars. We've said it a lot tonight, but certainly one of IWC's best and brightest. Reversal of the whip, though. Not gonna throw around Castagnoli unless he wants to go with him.
Very nice low
quick
pocket.
Inside cradle.
Very nice.
Almost had him there. Gory almost got a spot in Super 85.
Not fast enough.
Claudio up very quickly to cut him off. Looked like Gory might have been able to build a little bit of momentum. Oh, wait a second.
He's calling for it.
I think we may have to count the seconds here. Claudio's notorious for these extended suplexes. Such great ability with his strength. He's walking around the ring with him.
All the blood is rushing to Gory's head.
About 20 seconds worth of a delayed vertical suplex.
Incredible.
That's almost halfway to the record, I think.
Very, very powerful display of strength.
Turns him over, hook of the leg. That might be instinct. I don't know what you call that, but Gory obviously doesn't know where he is right now after that.
Yeah, he definitely got loopy on that one. He got knocked.
Double C pulls him back up. Not done with him yet. Going to take a lot to put this guy away.
Hard wrestling.
Hard slam from a long ways up. Claudio's about 6'5".
Yeah, he's pretty tall.
What in the world? Oh, well, took too much time to showboat.
Can't do that with
and
Gory.
And he paid for it.
Cannot do that with Jason Gory. There's that one mistake I was talking to you about. Oh! Very nice. Quick jaw kick by Gory. Gory off the ropes. Stiff one by Gory. Another one.
It's amazing to see Jason Gory firing away on somebody like twice as much. Oh, unbelievable leverage snapping off that Hurricane Rana.
That was a lot of momentum going with Jason on that
Unbelievable.
Uh-oh.
That's a lot of size to get over.
Definitely is.
Wait a second.
Uh-oh.
Springing up. Getting some momentum. Builds enough momentum to take him over, then does beautifully. You see Gory still trying to shake those cobwebs.
And the time to fly.
Look out.
No.
Pescado, Gory puts the brakes on.
Very nice.
Look out. Acai moonsault. flying through the air.
That is beautiful. Fans like that, you can hear them screaming IWC in the background.
I'm sure the landing for Gory wasn't much more pleasant than the landing for Claudio.
Definitely not. This floor's pretty hard.
That's the high-risk scenario you have to take.
Yep.
And that's what Jason Gory needs to do to beat Claudio. He has to go to his strengths, to his quickness and agility.
Oh, 619 drop kick.
Gory springs up with those feet in the face. What's the area code of Hell's Canyon, Idaho there, Mr. Cage?
I think you might get me on that one. I'll consult with Jason after the match and I'll get back to you on that.
Whatever it may be, Jason Gory coming one step closer to qualifying for a second Super Indy tournament. Who's in control here? Claudio, able to control the body.
Very nice.
Almost like an inverted suplex.
There's that strength you were talking about. Claudio's going up.
Gory gets planted. And now, the big man gonna go high risk. Look out, huge elbow. Good night, Mr. Gory. No.
Wow. Definitely going with his instincts on that one to kick out. Fans getting behind Gory.
And Castagnoli may have underestimated Gory a little bit. Gotta be wondering what he has to do to put him away. Look out. They're gonna attempt like
double knees to the chest, driving the air out of double C.
Gory dropped him.
Gory has momentum.
Gonna spring in.
Ooh, very nice moonsault.
Second on moonsault, 3-0.
Very, very close to advancing.
What a feather in Gory's cap it would be to knock off somebody like Double C to qualify into this tournament.
That'd be good for the resume.
He may be just a minute or so away from achieving the goal. Picking the man back up. That may prove to be a mistake. You don't want this guy to keep a vertical base, and it was. Claudio plants and fireman carry slam.
There's the one mistake. There it is.
Over his shoulder. Look out. Face first across the knee. Uppercut to follow. Beautiful sequence by Claudio Castagnoli. And Claudio's surprised that didn't work either.
He might have thought that was 3 in his mind right there. He looks very, very surprised. He didn't kick out on that.
Jason Gory digging down deep to a place he might not even known existed.
We don't know how much he has left. This guy had taken a lot out of him.
He had a great night earlier with that Texarkana title fiasco, but he's all business now, and he's got to be all business. He has any hopes of surviving it. Sunset flip, sunset. No.
A hair away from advancing in this tournament.
Gory with a high-speed sunset flip, almost half a QAS. It's not enough to keep Claudio down.
Definitely not. That rapid-fire sunset flip, man, that catches you off guard like no other move.
Without a doubt, and Gory taking it to Claudio. And the crowd respects and admires this effort through all adversity. Oh my God!
Super European uppercut.
Elevates an into an uppercut. Gravity was Gory's enemy.
There's a 3 count.
Advancing to Super Indy 5, Claudio Castagnoli.
Double C is in Super Indy 5, rounding out the field of 8. Claudio victorious. Did you see who just ran past us?
Yeah, I did see that. What is that?
What is that? Larry Sweeney is roaming around the outskirts of this building.
This doesn't look good for Gory.
No, well, Sweeney was...
Come on. What's he doing? What's he doing?
Gory beat him for that Texarkana TV title earlier tonight, and Sweeney getting exact a little bit of revenge.
That's all that he wants is revenge. That's ridiculous.
Gory just landed on his head. He was thrown to the outside.
IWC
no.
Oh, come on.
Not a pile driver.
That's uncalled for.
On the floor. This floor is not protected very well. And Sweeney just won the title back.
That was ridiculous. What's the IWC office going to do about this? Trying to end his career.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is continuing first round action in the Super Indy 5 tournament. Introducing to you first, weighing in at
This is my pick to win it all. Claudio Castagnoli, wrestling all over the world, winning all over the world. I think he's just on a real hot streak, and I think he's going to win it tonight. He's been winning a lot of matches lately.
And if you want to talk hot streaks, look at that outfit. That man knows how to dress.
That cost a lot of euros.
Swiss money-making man set for quarterfinal round competition against a guy who's been red hot, no pun intended.
And ladies and gentlemen, introducing to bringing up 190 pounds from West Hollywood, California,
And Jeff, this is going to be a pick versus pick match, because this is my pick.
That's
the
right.
hotness, balls hot Troy Lords.
It's an elimination. Joe's already been eliminated with Glenn Spector, but you know, Troy Lords is really carrying the torch for the IWC regulars here. He's the last homegrown IWC guy left in the tournament, so we'll see if he can win it for himself and for the IWC.
Certainly not to discredit the other athletes. They're all a part of IWC.
Well, they're all part of IWC. I'm saying homegrown IWC.
Exactly.
Guys who started in IWC.
Troy Lords has been here for about 5 years, and he's certainly paid his dues. He's certainly made more than enough necessary sacrifices, and this very well could be his time to shine. Joe Dombrowski, Jeff Gorman, Jay Worthington Farnsworth at Super Indy 5, Claudio Castagnoli versus Troy Lords.
Well, it's an uphill climb for Troy Lords. He's got tons and tons of ability, but this is a big night for him. He's really focused on winning the tournament, but he's got a tough draw here in the first round, not only from an ability standpoint, but Claudio's got a really big size advantage here.
Absolutely right. Claudio Castagnoli defeated another smaller competitor, Jason Gory, in order to qualify for this tournament. Troy Lords, well, he defeated Shima Zion to retain his Super Indy 5 spot, and of course had that tremendous 20-minute time limit draw for the Super Indy Championship against John McChesney last January. That's what gave him the right to enter this tournament, and certainly justifiably so, regardless of what Shima Zion might say.
Well, that's really a match. I mean, no, you mentioned that Lords has been here a long time, but that's really a match that put Troy Lords on the map. Taken seriously as a serious title contender. He's had a lot of title shots in the past. He really had to get over his previous association with sexual harassment. Some people still didn't take him seriously, but now everyone knows that Troy Lords is all business in there.
Well, ever since Troy Lords has been out on his own, he seems to have really excelled. We had sexual harassment, we had the Velvet Mafia, the Ohio Players, you can list. Troy Lords had spent many years as a follower. Now he's finally stepping up to lead himself, and clearly it's working very well for him.
And it's a smart move here by Lords to try to tie up Castagnoli's legs, neutralizing that size advantage.
But it's so tough to control legs that big.
You know, were anyone else, I would say this is the equivalent of using an Abrams tank to take out a fly. However, balls hot Troy Lords, you'll notice he had been taking the fight right to Claudio Castagnoli, not looking for a weak spot, not trying to feel it out. He went at him 100%.
And Claudio just so smooth in that ring, stringing these moves together.
Quick roll up here, down to 2.
Has such a wide variety of styles since he's wrestles all over the world, and he just gets better and better every time.
On our Super Indy Spotlight interview feature on IndyWrestling.us, Troy Lords stated he doesn't just want the Super Indy title, he needs it. He needs it to show all these years of sacrifice have finally paid off, and he's finally reached that top of the mountain. He doesn't have international tours. He doesn't have big TV tapings. This is the one and only most important moment in Troy Lords' career tonight.
Well, that's the kind of attitude that could actually win it for Troy Lords. You got to come in there with some fire, with something special, especially when you're going to have such an uphill climb. And I mean, everybody in this tournament has an uphill climb to beat 3 opponents in one night. So Lords could do it if he comes in with that attitude.
What do you think the height difference is there? Is that 8 inches? Is that a foot?
My God, I'd have to say a good
maybe
6,
8 inches, yeah.
Wait a second, but look at Lords counter out of Claudio's grasp, take him down with an arm drag. Lords has to do the best with what he's got here. Certainly not the most ideal of circumstances, able to snap off the head scissors.
He's riding him like a
sidekick connects.
Jungle gym.
And that was a good move. Lords needs those kind of quick strikes like that sidekick to keep Claudio reeling.
Man, what a night there. You realize
realize Troy Lords has only had one opportunity at the Super Indy title over the past 3 years.
And it's been a long time too, so now this is his big chance.
You'd have to go back to the era of Hentai's title reign to find Troy Lords' last title shot at this championship. And tonight, he has a chance to prove that all along, he's really been in contention.
Somebody's gonna prove it tonight by winning the whole thing.
Cover 2. Claudio has that big frame on top of Lords, but not enough to keep Lords down. Lords has been training so diligently, not just for this tournament, but over the past 6 months. Farnsworth, you can testify to this as well. Troy Lords has been like a whole new man ever since he's been out on his own.
Testify!
And you had pinpointed it earlier. It was the betrayal and the collapse of the Ohio players that all of a sudden you started seeing a look in his eye, a certain way he carried himself. It was almost as if he realized he was better than what he had previously thought. He started showing what he was worth.
And you add to that the quote-unquote defections, for lack of a better term, of Shirlito and Hentai going into business for themselves rather than being the locker room leaders they once were. I think that motivated Troy Lords to step up as well. And Troy Lords' first major single win was against Sebastian Dark, and ever since then, it's been no looking back.
So it's really all building to this one night for Troy Lords. We'll see if he can cash it in. We'll see if he can get out of the first round.
Well, now let's see if Claudio can beat the record of 25.
That's right. You got a stopwatch, Farnsworth?
Well, we got fans. We got several hundred fans keeping us up to tabs here.
But are they official?
Well, I don't know.
I mean, this is a world-traveled Farnsworth here we got.
I don't think we have a judge in attendance.
Rolexes do not have stopwatches on them, Jeff. I'm terribly sorry.
Oh, man. I need to take mine back.
Glenn's record for the night's been broken. We're past 30. We're more than halfway to a full minute. And he's walking around with them. Good God. This strength is ungodly.
He's looking tired. Count faster.
You gotta be
He's going for a minute. He's trying to get a minute.
You have got to be kidding me.
Oh, he's still going.
Exercises with Lords on his shoulder. That was about 65 seconds.
And that's going to be no.
I'm surprised. I am surprised Troy Lords is not unconscious. And Claudio showing why he's one of the best.
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised Troy Lords isn't like vomiting blood at this point.
Really? Upside down, up in the air for more than a minute? How can he come back from that? And there is a European uppercut by a European.
Hard shot echoed throughout this building. And now Troy Lords has got to be dazed and confused right now. Got to have a lot of cobwebs. Cut another cover. And you know it's taking a lot for him to kick out of those covers, considering how much body on body Claudio is exhibiting.
That's right, but Lords is going to stick this out any way he can. His body is going to have to overcome this assault in order to fulfill his dream.
Like we said, reaching down to surpass your normal body's limits is what this night's about. And it's a true test right here for Troy Lords if he can do that. Back to the vertical base with some headbutts. Trying to daze Claudio. Head of steam by Troy Lords.
Oh, he's going for the sleeper here.
And on top of that, all of Lords' body weight right on top of Claudio, but Claudio, great ring positioning, able to know right where that corner is.
Man, just a thudding sound by those European uppercuts.
If you'll pardon the pun, Claudio's uppercut right on the money.
Aha. I'm trying to debate whether I want to pardon that pun.
Claudio has Lords right where he wants him.
Oh,
slam.
And he threw him.
Did you hear what he said right before he threw him?
What was it? When we get to cover 2, kick out by Lords.
He said, watch him fly.
That's right, Lords. He had to have cleared at least half the ring. At least.
But Claudio, he's doing great here, but he's got to somehow find a way to put Troy Lords away, and he hasn't been able to do it yet.
And again, we seem to have some sort of a mixed crowd here. Certainly, Troy Lords has gained the respect of a lot of our regular fans, but Claudio's reputation supersedes himself as we got a mid-ring slugfest.
Whoa, he chopped him down with that enziguri.
Enziguri connects right to the back of the neck.
I think it shows, I mean, we're hearing the fans chanting for just about everybody. I think it's showing respect for everybody's ability. All these guys, their reputation has preceded them. And even if they don't like everybody, the fans will give people some props.
I haven't heard anyone chanting for Joe.
Well, I'm not out there. This is not about me. It's not about us. Not about announcers putting themselves over here. This is about Super Indy 5.
Well, they were chanting for me.
Oh!
Well, I think you slipped them a bribe, but be that as it may. Mid-ring slugfest.
And Lords is coming back after more European uppercuts.
Lords is getting the better of this slugfest. You wouldn't expect that looking at these two. Lords with a straight shot to the head. That low drop kick connects perfectly.
Claudio getting out of there, and that's not good for Troy Lords. He's just starting to get his momentum, and Claudio's getting himself a timeout. But wait a minute.
All or nothing here. This could prove fatal. This could make the match. Lords on the top rope. Diving with a plancha.
Dove off of the steel post.
And if that move doesn't work, you hear a splat.
And what that steel post did was it gave him the basis so he could actually fly that, what? That was a good almost 10 feet, I would say. 5 to 10 feet.
Yeah, look where he's getting up, way out there.
You can see that took its toll on Troy Lords. You see him wincing in pain as well. But you got to believe Claudio got the worst end of that exchange.
Well, now he's going to the top again, trying to capitalize. This is how he's going to win the match.
Look out. Lords hits with a drop kick.
Moves like that will do it for Troy.
Takes down the already dazed Claudio into the cover, but a kick out at 2.
But again, a guy as big and long as Claudio with those big legs, you got to just knock him into next week in order to pin him.
Lords going to take another risk.
Troy cannot let Claudio get up, which is what he's doing.
At the top, he gets crotched. Lands very gingerly on that turnbuckle, and Claudio's got a chance here.
Oh, right to the back. He's got something in mind.
Oh no. Has him elevated. Reverse suplex. Great offense by Claudio. Is he going to take him?
No, that was so close.
And even Claudio is surprised.
Yeah, that was about as close as it gets.
Troy Lords is not quitting. He will have to knock him out before Troy Lords gives up this match.
Got to give it up to him for that. He certainly has the heart and determination to be a super.
Ricola, he said.
Claudio going to look to finish this matchup off. Lords counters with some kicks to those legs.
He's calling for the X-Buster.
Oh no, he couldn't. But Claudio counters. Drives him down. Face first. Cover 2. Claudio it. No.
Again.
Lords with another kick out.
Again, Claudio almost had that in the bag, and he can't believe Lords is still in this match.
Unbelievable. Another case of athletes here going above and beyond our expectations, and that's saying something.
Called Ricola again. Countered.
Lords rolls him up.
He got him.
Ricola bomb off. Lords is in the semifinal.
Troy Lords is barely conscious. I'm surprised he won, and I'm voting for him.
To the semifinal round, balls hot, Troy Lords.
Well, my guy is out. Barnsworth, you got Troy Lords. He's the only one of us whose pick is still alive. Claudio can't believe it. He thought he had this match won. But such an uphill battle, such a gutsy performance. Now that Lords has made it through the first round, you know, he might be able to win it all.
That's the first step. Claudio absolutely gobsmacked. I think he thought it was in the bag.
Well, you got to consider a mild upset here. Troy Lords getting the victory over the much larger Castagnoli. Lords has momentum. Lords is feeling it. He needs that Super Indy title. Will tonight be the night? Troy Lords gets it. Well, what we've apparently heard dubbed the War Machine now has been sent to the back. On their own accord or not, I'm not sure, but it's very suspect that Dennis Gregory would voluntarily leave things one-on-one. Very true.
like, predictably, Dennis Gregory would like to talk.
More reporters, you wanted it, you got it. As the leader of the War Machine, I'd like to introduce to you the referee for this match.
Uh-oh.
CJ Sensation.
Damn it. Well, he doesn't even have his refereeing shirt on. That's professional of him.
Well, he stated he wanted to be a wrestler. He maybe is dressed as a wrestler.
You're seeing what a bunch of guys talking about my mom. I didn't know you were switching.
It's CJ Sensation. I'm sure refereeing. I'm sure he's not opposed to refereeing if the price is right. And Dennis Gregory has made it very clear that he has CJ Sensation's price. There you see the prize, IWC Championship. Opening bell has not rung yet already Claudio is at a distinct disadvantage. Do you really believe there's a chance in hell that CJ Sensation is going to count down Dennis Gregory's shoulders?
Of course not.
That's all I needed to hear. After all of your months about denying about crooked referees and who's in whose pocket, good to see it come clean here.
When have I not said that CJ Sensation and Dennis Gregory were in a lot? When the screw job became apparent, who was the first person to say CJ was a member of the War Games, of the Coalition of the Willing? And you could not trust him. No one listened to me. And now all of a sudden, shocked that CJ and Denny are friends. For the love of Pete, it was spelled out in front of you.
Well, very well, but now CJ Sensation is unfortunately the deciding factor in this contest. Can he present himself a little better? Untucked shirt? Looks like Bruce Gray on pay-per-view. Come on. And Dennis Gregory wants no part of Double C Claudio Castagnoli, even with the deck stacked in his favor.
You people better realize you didn't come to see Claudio Castagnoli over here. You come to see Gregory!
I think you mispronounced the name.
Yeah, you think? Well, that's highly debatable what Mr. Gregory laid claim to. And Gregory's got to be feeling pretty good about himself. Sterling James Keenan not in attendance here tonight. Sweet and Sour Larry Sweeney not in attendance here tonight. So Claudio Castagnoli may end up a little bit short on allies if this becomes a numbers game, where it's obvious it will. And CJ finally pretties himself up a little bit, and we can start this match.
Just because the War Machine is not out front doesn't mean they're not somewhere watching this.
No, very true. Greco-Roman knuckle lock. This is advantage Claudio here. He's got the leverage. One would think he has the power on his side as well. As Claudio having his way with the 15-year veteran, Dennis Gregory. Gregory backs into the ropes. CJ requests a break. He receives it, but the mental edge so far, despite CJ's involvement, goes to Double C.
Hey!
What?
I don't know.
Oh.
I'm trying to get in on it.
Always want to feel included, don't you?
Yes. Is that so wrong?
Collar and elbow tie up, center of the ring. It's Gregory who backs Claudio up. Did we get a clean break this time? Of course not. What? Wait a second here. Well, check this out. A little bit of a malfunction in the junction here. CJ Sensation told Gregory, you told me to call it down the middle. And Dennis Gregory, I guess he's having second thoughts about it.
Yeah, wouldn't you? I mean, really, if you could have the advantage, why wouldn't you take it?
Yeah.
Big mistake on Denny Gregory's part.
You're just a con artist just like the rest of them.
Yeah, but I'm honest about it.
Well,
if you had one good point, I guess that would be it. You're straightforward. Claudio with the armbar, and Gregory once again having to fight his way out of this grasp of Claudio. He's got to be about 6'3" or 4.
I want you to notice two things, Joe. I want you to notice who's sitting right off to the one corner watching the match.
Promoter Norm Connors with his eye intently on this matchup, no doubt. He doesn't like the fact that CJ Sensation's involved.
And I want you to look at who's peeking out through the curtain.
Who would that be?
I believe that would be fabulous John McChesney.
Oh, yeah.
Keeping an eye on the match.
Sipping a beverage, coolly watching the proceedings here, just waiting for his moment to pounce. As if 2-on-1 wasn't enough. Claudio still with the armball, however. Claudio's probably got a good 20 pounds of muscle on Dennis Gregory that he's using as advantage. Arm drag, but Gregory put the brakes on. Well, Gregory took a few seconds too long to showboat and got arm drag clear out of the ring. Gregory again being distracted by some of our ringside fans here. And I don't think Gregory would mind a count-out loss at this point. And Gregory does not even notice there's a major threat right behind him in the form of Double C, and Gregory, entering the hard way, lands on his feet, shoulder tackle. Ill-advised move there when you're dealing with the power of Claudio Castagnoli. He tries, can't knock Gregory down, both men budging one another. Mid-ring collision this time. Clothesline shoulder tackle once more. For a slam, down for a slam.
But without taking anything away from Dennis Gregory.
I'll check this out. Walking across the second rope.
Grab walk.
And drops the elbow. Two and no, near fall. Double C half a second away from the IWC Championship.
Shades of Niniwa there.
Into the buckle. And Gregory,
handful of groin there.
Yeah, with the aid of the tights, sends Claudio face first into the buckle, and driving through with the leg, all of Gregory's body weight, going down across the back of the neck, and a second time, Gregory using his weight to his advantage, and he's neutralized Castagnoli so far in the early going of this main event, IWC Heavyweight Championship contest. And so far, I'm mildly shocked CJ Sensation is continuing to call things rather fairly.
I am too. We're on the same page, and I don't know how to react. I think I have to reevaluate my life a little.
Gregory has his grasp on Castagnoli, takes him over, almost a backpacker type maneuver, but only gets 2 out of it.
And put it a lot lower than most people do, right at the small of the back. That hurt.
Almost a half a backpacker, half a monkey flip. Interesting maneuver by Dennis Gregory. It's working so far. Claudio's dazed. And Gregory continuing to keep the big man grounded on the mat. Very sound strategy by the veteran and 4-time IWC heavyweight champion. Not giving Claudio any room to breathe here. But now Claudio fires back with those forearm shots. Gregory slipped underneath. Nice neck breaker.
Very nice neck breaker.
Oh, it's not over yet. Gregory might be...
It was a true statement. He is still the champ.
Well, at the moment, yes, but who knows what he's going to be in 5 minutes.
True.
Continuing to wear away now, just plants the knee firmly into the back and bending Claudio's body while CJ Sensation detects for a submission. Gregory, no doubt a great athlete, has great longevity, has been around so long and been so successful. But Claudio Castagnoli
right to the spine.
Began to mount a little bit of offensive, but it was only successful in the short term. Wearing down Double C slowly but surely, and Gregory bends Claudio's body with the backbreaker. Another cover, another somewhat of a lax pin by the reigning champion, and you're certainly not going to beat Claudio Castagnoli in that manner. Denny. They send Claudio in. Jumping back elbow.
You had pointed it out earlier, and really, I got to agree with you. Gregory, smart game plan.
Cover 2 and no. Turns into a submission here.
He is not letting Claudio get to his feet, not letting him use that power that is one of the key advantages. One of the key advantages of Claudio.
Indeed, and the champion is really dominating a large bulk of this matchup here over Claudio Castagnoli, using that very sound strategy, and has not needed any involvement from this so-called war machine that we've seen running rampant in recent times. Claudio into the ropes, however, and check this out. CJ Sensation asked for a break, got a break. Would there have been a disqualification on 5? We don't know.
Yeah, certainly probably not.
Well, I would doubt it very seriously.
Well, he's calling it down the middle, but at the same time, end of the day, he knows where his bread is buttered, to quote Denny.
Exactly right. If they can create the illusion of a competitive, even contest, then I'm sure they will, to boost their own ego. Fisherman style suplex. Another lateral press and another near fall as Claudio keeps escaping in the nick of time, but Dennis Gregory just continues on his man. Blatant choke. You can hear Gregory again chastising these IWC fans as he continues to wear away on Claudio.
Well, really, as much as I disagree with him, I'm fine with him yelling at these 4th grade regions.
Wait, will you be nice?
No! Look at those.
Claudio charging with an uppercut.
For God's sakes, breathe in. They have a stink that's all their own. It's so bad you can actually see it. And you want me to be nice to these mouth breathers?
I apologize for the editorial remarks of Jay Worthington Farnsworth as Claudio attempts to mount the comeback on Dennis Gregory, the reigning champion. We saw that jumping European-style uppercut, able to cut off a majority of Gregory's momentum, and Claudio following through very well. A series of uppercuts takes the champ down. Claudio fighting for Larry Sweeney, fighting for Chris Hero, and certainly fighting for the IWC fans in locker room as well. Double leg sweep. Count here. Is it giant swing time?
Swing. I might throw up.
10 full revolutions by Claudio Castagnoli. Took out some of his equilibrium as well, but imagine how Denny Gregory feels.
I'm nauseous just seeing that. So.
Fisherman suplex with a bridge count, damn it. We got 1, come on. 3. This match should be over. Gregory doesn't know where he is, and Claudio has finally found out where CJ's alliance truly lies. Look out for Gregory.
He might stumble into you.
Up to his feet. To the clothesline. Bicycle kick. Into the cover. Oh, yeah. Get perfect positioning there, buddy. Norm Connors Gregory kicks out. Norm Connors is requesting the microphone.
Not tonight, Josephine. You're done. Connor, get out of here.
Norm summoning senior
I'm
referee.
making the decision. He's done as a referee tonight. Are you okay with my decision? Are you okay with my decision? Good. Now.
CJ Sensation just got thrown out, and you could see his response to Norm Connors. Dennis Gregory wants his belt. He's going to try to take a count-out loss here, it looks like.
Oh,
Hey,
hold on.
wait a second. Chuck Roberts just got pushed down. And Farnsworth going to the aid of Chuck Roberts. That was uncalled for, to lay your hands on a non-wrestling member of the IWC staff. Gregory has no need for his title belt right now. This match is still in progress. And Gregory's complaining about a damn conspiracy. What was it before Norm got involved?
And he's walking into the ring with the belt.
Well, Claudio doesn't seem to mind. Look out. Back suplex. Gregory shifts the weight. Cover. Feet on the ropes. Bobby Williams catches it. Not tonight, Dennis Gregory. We got quick roll up. Gregory distracted with the official 3-0. Everybody thought it was over. The 3 was coming down, but Gregory escaped. Uh-oh. Look out here. Claudio drops him. High impact for 3-0. Another near fall. And this crowd is on edge. They desperately want a new champion. Here tonight, the Ricola bomb countered. That would have been all. Inside Cradle. Gregory escapes by the skin of his teeth.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Dennis Gregory.
Yeah, well, Chuck Roberts not too enthused about making the announcement. Justifiably so after he was manhandled. And Dennis Gregory, I don't know if Dennis Gregory realizes just how lucky he is to be leaving IWC champion. Claudio had that matchup won on a few occasions. But Dennis Gregory is just a step ahead of him.
You know, as much as I would have liked to have seen Dennis Gregory lose the belt tonight, I will give it to him. He won it fair, and that was a 3 count.
Well, once we got rid of CJ Sensation, it was fairly. That match could have been over before Bobby Williams even got involved.
That's a whole other tangent.
Well, the bottom line is Dennis Gregory is still the IWC champion, and this so-called war machine of his still has all the power, and they still have a very large chunk of the IWC gold as well, as we see the champion celebrate in all his glory. Yeah, well, some champion to be proud of, isn't he? There's a champion the locker room can really look up to, huh?
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for 1 fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing to you first, a member of the War Machine, weighing in at 242 pounds, Brent.
When you want to talk about a dangerous competitor, they don't come more ruthless and dangerous than Brent Albright. The muscle, the hired gun behind Dennis Gregory's War Machine. Albright doesn't care who he hurts, as long as he hurts somebody and is paid quite well. It's going to be quite a tough task to go around this opposition. Somebody that took Albright's boss, Dennis Gregory, the leader of the War Machine, to his absolute limit in a recent IWC title defense, which is what spawned this matchup. On the way, Double C, Claudio Castagnoli, comes to the IWC 100 show celebration.
Weighs in at 222 pounds, comes from the United States of Switzerland, here's
ago. Gregory somehow, some way, was able to sneak past, but Claudio Castagnoli has not forgotten about that encounter, and he wants another piece of the war machine. The fans just love Claudio Castagnoli, no doubt about that. And this is going to be a very hard-hitting, impactful matchup. And Albright circle of one another early on here, and Albright heads to the outside, and very interesting strategy here. Claudio doesn't seem to mind. He's in the ring.
And the crowd is pretty happy just to watch Claudio pose. I mean,
I think Claudio has proven the point without even saying a word. Tie-up and Albright. Claudio's used to outpowering his opponents.
right, Albright proved his point right there.
Exactly, without a doubt. But you're not gonna be able to outpower Brent Albright, at least not easily. But that still did not sway the crowd in the favor of Brent Albright. And you know, wherever Brent Albright is, the rest of the War Machine has got to be close. You saw Dennis Gregory a moment ago, the IWC champion, get into that confrontation with Too Cold Scorpio. And of course,
Say something here. It's not often you see anybody get into the head of Brent Albright. Right? Here's what you're seeing here is you're seeing Claudio Castagnoli is actually using the crowd to intimidate Brent Albright. You don't see that.
But Albright will go Claudio around. Also, got to mention Sebastian Dark and CJ Sensation of the War Machine as well. CJ Sensation makes his in-ring return to competition here tonight after many months of campaigning for it. Finally promoted Norm Connors relents, and it seems that this is starting to get under Brent Albright's skin.
It is. That's what I'm saying. I mean, you know, they call him the shooter, Brent Albright. Brent Albright doesn't care about anything or anyone except for making money. But now, I mean, you're upset because the fans are chanting for his opponent. That's an accomplishment on Claudio's part. He might play a part in this match.
Claudio back in. It's like Spider-Man. But Claudio and Albright have not taken their eyes off of one another as of yet. They're coming up a tie-up side headlock with a wide stance by Brent Albright, planting his feet and now driving down to a knee. Claudio does not have a lot of motion here, not a lot of leverage to perhaps attempt to move out of the side headlock. And when you have that unbelievable power that is contained in the arms of Brent Albright, it makes this move that much more dangerous. Finally able to push off, but Albright with a takedown. The pace quickness, I'm not sure who this will favor here. I'll give a slight advantage to Castagnoli. I believe he's carrying slightly less body weight. Claudio takes everything down.
Here's it. It's European uppercut right there.
I believe Claudio's about 240. Albright maybe around the 250 to 60 range. We get some heavy hitters in the ring right now. Well, one of them, Brent Albright, has taken refuge to the outside. And Claudio is once again left in the ring alone. And it seems that the match so far goes to Claudio on points.
Both men out of the ring.
And
Albright to the back.
Well, who knows what's going on now? Back they come. Claudio would not be satisfied with a count-out victory in a situation such as this, in an environment such as this. He wants to win this matchup decisively in the middle of the ring, but Brent Albright picked his spot and caught Claudio coming in.
Maybe Claudio should have let himself win on count-out. Wins a win.
Albright, so dangerous. Keep in mind the list of trainers he's had in his career. Men like Lance Storm, men like Al Snow. Claudio Castagnoli, a protege of Chris Hero for so many years. There's so much wrestling knowledge and skill. And so many miles traveled in the ring. And Albright was miles above the head of Castagnoli on the back body drop. Claudio into the cover. Barely a count of two on that exchange. Albright quick to get off his back as soon as possible.
Crowd behind Claudio once again. Talk about the mind games, the way that Brent Albright's being thrown off, but that only works so far. Sooner or later, it's going to go beyond irritating Brent Albright. His forcing him off, and then he's just going to become really, really dangerous.
Claudio attempted to take a chance. It did not pay off. Albright pushes him off the second turnbuckle, and Claudio hits hard on this floor, and that's not a protection on the floor. That's just a covering. That's for visual aid. That's for aesthetics.
Scuffing the wood.
Exactly. That's not to protect these athletes, as morbid as it may sound.
Protected the floor. Looks like Claudio actually hit both his knee and his shoulder, and now his back's probably not feeling very good.
His back hits the edge of that ring apron where metal meets wood. Forearm shot on Claudio. Right in for the cover, hooks the leg, only a count of one, as you see Claudio, much like Albright, getting off of his back as early as possible. Doesn't want to take any chances here. Suplex floating over into the cover, another 2 count, and Claudio trying to will himself back on, but if Claudio can get through Brent Albright, who's unquestionably the most dangerous member of the War Machine, except for perhaps Dennis Gregory, if Claudio can get through Albright, you gotta believe he may be in line for a rematch of the IWC title.
I can't imagine Claudio's ever not in line for a rematch.
About that, Claudio, the elbow.
Brent Albright back in control. Claudio takes it.
And Albright's starting to go frustrated here with Claudio Castagnoli. And Brent Albright drops the leg. Measures double C and continues to work on the back. Albright now picks up Claudio. Forearm right around the jaw, and that could very easily dislocate a jaw, and that could very easily burst a blood vessel on your chest. Brent Albright is all impact all the time.
Wait a minute. Oh, looks like we're being joined here. We're being joined here by Tracy.
Tracy.
Well, I will allow. Excuse me.
All right.
It would be an honor, sir.
Chops away.
You would take my spot.
All right, well, Tracy Smothers, pleasure to have you joining us again for our second night of a Call to Arms 4 as we're watching an unbelievable matchup here with Double C, Claudio Castagnoli, and Brent Albright, 2 hard-hitting, powerful athletes.
Oh yeah, I'm real familiar with Claudio from Switzerland. I remember when Chris Hero brought him over from over there. You know, a lot of tours of Japan. He's toured all of Europe, toured all of the United Kingdom. He's been all over the world. He really has. You name it, and Claudio's been there. God, he just punted it. But real good amateur wrestler. What's his background?
For Brent Albright? Brent Albright spent so much time training in OVW with men like Al Snow and Lance Storm. He picked up the tricks of the trade for that, not just in technical wrestling, amateur wrestling, mixed martial arts. Brent Albright can do it all, and he almost pinned Claudio Castagnoli.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, he's a protege.
Stop talking about my beard.
That's sexy. Real natural wrestler, making the transition. Got a pretty bad attitude. He doesn't really care what you like. From Oklahoma, right?
That's right.
All these big, strong, tough boys.
Albright hammering with the right hand, sends Claudio to the right, duck of the clothesline, and Claudio with the crossbody, lateral press, 2, and Albright escapes. And right back up, and that huge tree limb of an arm sends Claudio down. He's got another cover for 2.
2 big, strong, raw-boned young guys that are really coming after what a show so far.
Oh, no doubt about it. 100th show weekend celebration. And Albright has Claudio horizontal with the chin lock, and Claudio really has no leverage to attempt to counter out.
Shut up!
Wind off right there. Trying to wear him down. Claudio's a tough kid. A lot of determination, a lot of heart, a lot of talent.
Crowd trying to will Claudio to his feet, and Albright drives him right back down. And Brent Albright, no doubt the hired gun of the War Machine. Albright just likes to hurt people.
Exactly. He's not there to be your friend. He's not there to be your brother. He doesn't just want to win. He wants to mock you. He wants to lame you. He wants you to
I got him.
You can see that.
Well, what we're going to see here.
He's trying to choke him out right there.
Bobby Williams checking the arm, but Claudio shows signs of life.
That is the hard part. He's not going to do
10 minutes gone by, 10 minutes.
Claudio wills himself to his feet. The momentum, the tide of this match is shifting.
Bicycle kick. What a kick right there. Oh. Do that. He's got to get his composure right here. He's trying to rally him.
He caught him high with that kick as well as Claudio. The crowd has been, without a doubt, on his side this entire matchup. And Claudio using that energy to get back to his feet, get that second burst of adrenaline as now Albright begins to feel the forearms of Double C. Follow through, back elbow, takes the shooter down. Wait a second. Is Claudio gonna hit this? The giant swing, Tracy. Round and round, Albright goes. How many revolutions here? At least a half a dozen. Albright's got to be dizzy. Does he know where he is? And he kicks out, gets the shoulder up. And Claudio gonna walk the ropes. Can you believe this agility for a man that's about 6'4", about 230 pounds? Into the cover hook on the leg, 2 and no. Claudio going for the Ricola bomb. Albright counters. Backbreaker. Elevated backbreaker. Into the dragon suplex to the back of the neck. Albright with 3 high-impact moves. Back to back to back, 2.5. How did Claudio escape that cover?
Excuse me, I would have bet the farm. Anyway, I got rocked earlier myself.
Well, certainly all these athletes putting it all on the line. European style from Double C. Misstated, but walked right into the power slam. 2 and that almost all another near fall.
2 great athletes right here showing what they can do. There's always options to see anywhere in the world.
No doubt about that, and Brent Albright gonna set up here. Half Nelson suplex coming up. Claudio counters. Rockets him down face first. Follow through here. Reverse fireman carry. Drives him down. Has the cover. Leg is hooked and almost a count of 3.
This could have went either way both 2 times here.
Both men are putting it all on the line here with their signature maneuvers. Albright clipped him. So I took out the knee. Goes down here. Charges through with a swinging knee. Right to the head. And he's got that knee pad down, Tracy, right now, exposing the bone of the knee.
Going for it.
He's driving the knee right into the top of the head. Claudio tapped.
Wow.
He tapped out.
Here is your winner, the shooter, Brent Albright.
Albright tied Claudio up to where he couldn't defend himself and just kept kneeing him in the head with the bone of that knee. I believe Claudio had no choice but to tap out.
Ladies and gentlemen, making their return to the IWC, Claudio Castagnoli, Chris Hero, the King of Wrestling, Jimmy Vegas, Danny Gregory. It's no secret the founding fathers have been running roughshod all over IWC. But in a few moments, you're going to go toe-to-toe with greatness. Claudio Castagnoli, Chris Hero, the Kings of Wrestling. We personify pound for pound perfection in professional wrestling, and you will see that very shortly. Ain't no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, back to ringside.
Hit that music. Strength in numbers or not, this will be a tough test for the Founding Fathers. Make no mistake about it. The man that concusses with his kicks and KOs with his elbows, Chris Hero, joined, of course, by the one and only Claudio Castagnoli. They are the kings of wrestling, and together they are arguably the most dominant tag team in this entire industry. I watched as they defeated the most well-known and arguably greatest tag team in Impact Wrestling, the Motor City Machine Guns. I watched along as they defeated arguably the greatest tag team in the history of the WWE in the past 10 years, Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin, wrestling's greatest tag team. The Kings have dominated every other top tag team and every other organization they have come across. If any team can stop the Founding Fathers, it is indeed going to be the Kings of Wrestling tonight.
Ain't no doubt about it. Here we go, because malfunction at the junction. Kings of Wrestling firmly in control of this one. Double Irish whip. Tag team cohesion as usual. Double big boot.
Well, Gregory was taken out early, and Vegas on the receiving end of a double team. The Kings made it, about a year as the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, overcoming all challenges, dominating the greatest tag team dynasty in Ring of Honor history, the Briscoe brothers, and turning away all other challenges in between. Of course, we would be remiss if we didn't mention the Queen of Wrestling, Sarah Del Rey, that was by their side for much of it. She is not here tonight, however, and if there was ever a night the Kings did need someone watching their backs, it's tonight. If the Fathers can find a way, it's going to be likely in the form of Dean Radford running interference on the outside.
Very good point. Astute observation from Joe Dombrowski here. The Kings without their queen tonight.
You know, I think we can all attest when the Kings of Wrestling reformed, there was a shockwave that went through wrestling. Every tag team was essentially put on notice, and they ran roughshod through each and every opposition that they found. They didn't always win, but they always showed they were pound for pound just as good, if not better, than every other tag team.
Right now it's very European. Claudio Castagnoli locking up with very obnoxious Dennis Gregory in the center of the ring.
Oh, look at this. Trying to get a smooch on the apron right there. Claudio chiseled, jacked, and otherwise tagged to Chris Hero right now. Very quickly comes into the ring. Smart tag team wrestling. They got him trapped in their corner.
I'll tell you what, Chris Hero became infamous in Ring of Honor for holding a allegedly loaded elbow pad. This is one night I wouldn't mind seeing that elbow pad come into play. I wouldn't mind seeing the Founding Fathers get some sense knocked into them. Easier said than done, but I'm certainly enjoying the Kings' attempt thus far.
Targeting that arm.
I want to point out, I talked about the Kings of Wrestling and how well they're known, but I want to look at the other side of the ring for a second. We're talking about two guys with an incredible amount of talent and, frankly, an even bigger amount of ring skill and savvy. If you want a win, if you need a win, the first person I would talk to would be Dennis Gregory.
Look at the power right now!
No one knows how to eke a win out, how to make sure that he gets a W in the column better than the man in the ring facing very European.
Well, Gregory is a 5-time former IWC champion. No one's even come close to that honor. Again, the strength of Claudio Castagnoli, raw power. Vegas was the first ever 2-time IWC champion in history. And Hero drives down on the arm of Gregory. Great tag team precision by the visiting Kings of Wrestling, thus far the challenging team in this contest.
Hero now has that arm, continues to work on the arm, getting some leverage.
Well, you know, one of the dangerous things about these Kings is that they are so well world-traveled. Whether it's American style, European style, Japanese style, Mexican style, they are so well-rounded. They can hit you with Lucha Libre. They can hit you with Johnny Saint. They can hit you with Pro Wrestling Noah. They can do whatever they want to. They can bring you styles you haven't seen in this country before. That's what makes them so dangerous.
They can hit you with a Dory Funk Jr. style uppercut. They can hit you with some Sky to Lucha Libre, 2 count only. These guys, as you said, in my opinion too, the most versatile tag team in all of professional wrestling, and perhaps ever.
And frankly, if the founding fathers want to keep hold of those belts, they have to stop Claudio from uncorking those uppercuts. He gets to dropping those left and right. This ends quickly. Oh!
Well, the Kings have had a hell of a night sitting back and enjoying some great ring action. Founding Fathers, not so much. If you have a cover 2-0. Founding Fathers have been in the center of a lot of turmoil here tonight. And if nothing else, have to be mentally drained.
No, Joe.
It's a European-style headlock for those of you at home. Farnsworth likes his cravats. It's kind of like a fetish.
I was taught to respect the cravat from one Anthony Kingdom James, wherever he is.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Hey, he's not bugging me. That's all that matters. Wait, what? Never mind. Gregory with a neck breaker.
Hero falls victim to that neck breaker. Beautifully done by Gregory, who goes for the cover. 2 count only.
Gregory seems more concerned of keeping Hero away from Claudio than he is finishing that match off, which is not a bad idea. Of the two, Claudio has been the more dominant of the Kings thus far. He's the taller man, arguably the more powerful. But you want to talk about power, Jimmy Vegas has amazing strength in his body as well. Vegas once withstood, I believe it was 3 or 4 Jerry Lawler pile drivers in a row. One of the most surreal things I've ever seen. Vegas, a man who's beaten CM Punk, Tommy Dreamer, Raven, Sandman. And Vegas left IWC for a time, came back, and rather than work his way back up to the top, he decided to just make buddy-buddy with Bubba the Bulldog. And that's where we have our impasse.
Some big strong guy pushed my face in the sand, and now he's at the top and I'm still sitting here. Seriously, listen to yourself, Joe. For the love of God. The guy has strength and power, and he came back. He has a reputation. People respected what he did, and he got to the top because of what he had already laid out in front of him.
So you're saying that somebody should live off of their past legacy the rest of their career?
If they can, yes. That's why we have bank accounts.
Well, as an old song once said, let's live for today. And certainly Dennis Gregory living in the moment right now with a great drop kick.
I'd like to counter that with a different song.
All right.
My country.
Oh, don't start with that. You memorized the lyrics already, for goodness sake.
I helped him write it.
I believe it. That's why it's so awful. Vegas gets tagged in.
Had I gotten more than 4 bars in, I would have been owed royalties.
Reverse chin lock.
Vegas using that power, leaning into Chris Hero, putting all his body weight against Chris Hero's, trying to take all the air and sap the energy out of the body of Chris Hero.
Yeah,
Hero showing some signs of life, though.
Hero not only carrying his own body weight, but 260 some odd pounds of Vegas. Again, the vertical base negates much of that. Hero creates some distance. Sunset flip. No. Hero a hair quicker. Roll up. 2-0. And the subject of our theme of the night, Naylor, Hero and Claudio, more so than perhaps anybody else, were very, very close to Larry Sweeney, were they not?
Oh, most definitely they were. Larry Sweeney managed the Kings of Wrestling. He was their agent, if you will, for quite some time. Very close bonds and ties between all 3 of those men, and the Kings would love nothing more than win a big match here tonight for Larry Sweeney.
I believe Hero and Claudio were, maybe at least in part or occasionally, and correct me if I'm wrong, instrumental in Sweeney's training.
Absolutely. Both had a very major hand in Larry Sweeney's training in Pennsylvania.
Yes. Knee buried right between the shoulder blades.
Gregory and Vegas are doing a great job of keeping this matchup a very non-Kings of Wrestling style. No strikes, no fast-paced offense, no power. It's all very technical, basic wrestling, very cerebral offense, and that is where Gregory and Vegas shine best.
The thing that I wanted to point out was these two teams, where they are equal, where they sort of meet, is they both know what the other's going to do. They both have been around each other so long, they have formed that symbiotic bond that tag teams have.
I think that lax cover ticked Hero off. Vegas draping one leg over Hero on the leg drop and tried to put him away with it. Nothing doing.
Hero got him with a good body blow there. Hero, of course, has some boxing experience. Trained in boxing for much of 2008 and 2009.
Gregory tagged back in. Well, boxing only takes you so far in professional wrestling.
Very good point.
Closed fists are illegal. But the forearms and elbows are not.
Oh! Wow, he just tagged both them. In particular, Gregory, who goes down in a heap.
Gregory didn't have his feet under him, and Hero fell into that, put all of his weight and all the gravity behind him.
Claudio, Robert Gibson's in the ring now, over the top. Hard uppercut at a second. House of proverbial fire.
Momentum shifts here from fathers to kings. Will Kings reign supreme here tonight? Will they capture IWC Tag Gold? Claudio uses that weight to its advantage. You don't see a big man fly like that. But Claudio is the exception to the rule.
Oh, move out of the way, ref.
Time for the giant swing, perhaps?
There's a playground near the facility, but this is the biggest giant swing I've ever seen.
This swing, very European.
And very effective, very lengthy.
Oh my God!
He can do nothing but think about it, can Dennis Gregory? He's got this. No.
He
As
had
close
just
as you
the
can
shoulders
possibly
there.
get.
Absolutely.
Claudio now looking to put him away. Wait a minute, the big man.
Vegas has Claudio from behind. Double team. Almost a miscue. Claudio helps him out a little.
KRS-One perhaps. Hero in the ring.
In
No,
position.
wait a minute. Oh.
Patented Kings double teaming. All the blood rushes to the brain on the suplex attempt. That Hero hammers it home with a forearm to the back of the head.
When a team has about 200 different combination moves, I'm allowed to get one wrong every now and then. Beautiful tag team maneuver, though, by Claudio and Chris. Claudio now gets some room off the ropes.
Oh.
Wait a minute.
Vegas out there. Hero able to negate that momentarily. Watch Dennis Gregory. Claudio's taking his eye off the ball as Hero hits the ring post.
And Hero's down on the outside. Vegas just tagged.
It's 2-on-1 here on Claudio.
Favoring those eyes.
He still can't see. The double team worked that time. And Vegas, full Nelson slam. The father's got this. And that's a huge win. That is a massive win.
And still IWC Tag Team Champions, the War Machine, Dennis Gregory and Jimmy Vegas, the founding fathers.
The fathers just arguably beat the best tag team in wrestling today.
They eliminated, it was divide and conquer. Got rid of Chris Hero and put it to Claudio.
Yeah, you can't help but be impressed with that win right there.
I respect the win. Dean Radford did not get involved. The other cronies did not get involved. And yes, this proves these gentlemen are still at the top of their game. This proves they are still worthy of being a major part of IWC. But do they deserve all the attention they've gotten? Do they deserve all the breaks they've gotten politically? The jury's still out on that one. But the best team in IWC, founding fathers, Gregory and Vegas, dethrone the Kings.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Chris Hero and Claudio Castagnoli, the Kings of Wrestling!
Standing ovation for the Kings.
Great ovation for the Kings, and still a hard-fought effort here for their friend and confidant, Larry Sweeney at Super Indy 10.